Okay, hi everybody. It's Mike here, Kentucky. Live in Kentucky. Had quite a lot of questions about the firewood we use. We heat with wood. We don't use any other kind of heat. It's the cheapest way to go. By not using our electric furnace, in 4 months we could save $1,800 just by using a wood burning stove. Now it's a little bit of work, sure. I got to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and feed the stove, then back up at 8 o'clock to feed the stove. But it saves $1,800 a year just in wood, just in electric. But the question I keep getting asked is, why does this white oak that comes from the barrel company, this is barrel wood, this is wood that makes the whiskey barrels to hold the whiskey and the wine. It's white oak, kiln dried. People ask me why it burns so much hotter than regular white oak, live oak. And here what I've come up with after 4 years of burning with wood. I've determined that there is no difference between this white oak and this white oak. This comes from a barrel company, processed, almost sanded. This is live tree oak, been seasoned for a year. The reason this burns so much hotter is because of the size of it. And if you look, these come in little 1x1 or 1x2.5 pieces, thin little pieces. Now these are long. I'm going to show you what I do with these because they're too long for my stove. But these pieces right here, you can take a handful of these pieces to match the size of this piece, and this will burn hotter than this does. I think it's simple mathematics, science, I guess. You got 5 or 6 pieces of this with a gap in between them, or maybe even not a gap in between them. 5 or 6 pieces are burning at the same time, producing heat. You got airflow through them. This is one piece of wood. It burns around the side this way, around the side that way, and that's it. That's all you get. Now this will last longer than these pieces will, depending on how much you put in the stove. What I do is I put a layer of this in the bottom of my stove. Then I put a layer of live wood going this way on the next row in my stove. And then I put another layer of this over the top of that in my stove. And that usually lasts about 3-4 hours. Now you say, well, white oak, why can't you just cut it this small? Well, I cut mine with an axe. And this is about the smallest I can cut it. As you can see, it's pretty damn small. But with an axe, I really can't cut it no smaller than that. And plus it would take a hell of a lot of time to chop one piece of wood into little pieces like this to get a cord out of it. So I think that's the difference between white oak from the barrel company and white oak from the woods. I think that's why it burns hotter. But let me show you what we do. Usually this oak comes about this long. You get some pieces that are longer, you get some pieces that are shorter. But usually it comes about that long. That's perfect for my stove. So when we bring a trailer load here, we sift through it, we eye what we think is too long, throw it off to the side. We take everything that we think is just right, and we stack it up in our barn. I had 10 cord of this winter. Started burning it in November. And here it is, end of February, and I'm just now running out. What I have to do is, over here, I got all the long stuff that we had separated. And now that all the short stuff is gone that we've used all winter, I've got to come out here and cut this down a little bit. So I need to cut off about that much. Not that much. Not much at all. But if you don't cut it, it don't fit. So I got my table set up. This is how we do. We take pieces, 4 or 5 pieces at a time. Even them up at the back. Bring them out over the table about, I don't know, 5 inches maybe. And then we grab the saw over here, which I didn't prepare yet. Let me grab it. We take the circular saw, put your arm down on it to hold them on, and away we go. Now, you'll see that's going to be the right size for my stove. This is the piece I cut off. Just little pieces. Now, these little pieces are great during the day or even at night when it's 50, 60 degrees. Because this wood will make it so damn hot in the house, you got to run around in shorts when it's 50, 60 degrees. Where if you just use this stuff to produce a little bit of heat, keeps it completely comfortable in the house. And I have a 2,000 square foot home, so it's nothing small to heat. The wood burning stove I use heats 2,500 square feet. But when it drops below 23, 20 degrees, when it drops below that, the stove has a hard time keeping up with the house. It heats 2,500 square feet, but I'm sure that's in a certain temperature, because when you hit teens and single digits, which we once in a while do here in Kentucky, you got to run that thing full bore to get the house, keep the house warm. And when I say warm, I mean 75 degrees in one half of the house, and the other half of the house where the stove is, 80. That's where my wife likes to keep it. 80 damn degrees. So that's the routine. These pieces drop on the floor. These pieces go in the wheelbarrow. Wheelbarrow goes up to the house. Today, I should have done this when it was 60, 70 degrees the other day. But I didn't expect the temperature to drop like this again. I thought spring was on its way. So today, I got to cut a wheelbarrow full to get us through the day and tonight. Tonight we're going down to 18 degrees. Going to burn a lot of wood then. And then the next few days it's supposed to be up in the 40s and 50s. So that's just scrap wood pretty much. But got to burn a barrel. I got to cut a wheelbarrow full of wood today to get us through the rest of the day and tonight. And then maybe tomorrow, if it's a little warmer, or the next day, I'll cut some more just in case we drop down in the 20s again in the future, because I am waiting for spring. It is February 23rd, and I can't wait for spring. Get the bike out and go for a ride. But that's the difference between what I believe the difference is between the smaller cut white oak from the Barrel Company, which is kiln dried, and a piece of live white oak, which is from my woods behind me, which is dried also. It's cut and dried for a year, so it's seasoned. But it burns. This burns hotter than that does, and I think that's why. So that's my spiel for today. I got to get to work, and I'll see you later, YouTube.